A warm welcome back to Afternoon Express. So we're in the kitchen today and we're making something so delicious. It's a take on a Cape Malay curry and we're using trout instead of mussels today because of the red tide. Joining us in the studio today is none other than Ryan. He's the head chef of Ryan's Kitchen in Franschhoek and it's such an honor to have him here today because we're trying something so different and it's so innovative.
No, definitely. It's a
awesome.
very exciting dish. You know, probably, a lot of Cape cuisine is maybe considered more, I don't know, staid or quiet or safe.
Yeah.
But we made something really exciting and we've turned it into, Cape Malay fish is normally a cold dish.
Yes.
Normally eaten with a salad and a piece of toast or something like that. We've turned it into a hot dish that could become almost a one-pot meal.
Lovely.
And no, it's fabulous. It uses all the spices, and if you love curry and pickles, you would love this dish,
Cool. Well, we already love it, so I'm ready to help you. I see you've kind of prepared everything else for us here so far.
We've kind of got everything ready here. There's quite a few ingredients, but it's really straightforward. So obviously onion, garlic, ginger. Okay. We're going to turn that into a paste. And then we've got some of the more traditional Malay spices. They're ground up fennel, coriander seed, turmeric, use some ground cumin there, bay leaves, curry leaves, and then also I've got some hot curry powder madras.
Oh, curry leaves?
Yeah,
is this a curry leaf?
It's a curry leaf, becoming more and more readily available. It's a fantastic product. I just love it.
You know what it smells like? It almost smells like sesame seeds, ground up sesame seeds. Oh, it smells delicious.
And then obviously we finish it. We've got some baby tomatoes and new potatoes. Okay. Key ingredient there is a tinned apricot jam. Okay. I suppose traditionally people sweeten the pickled fish with a little bit of sugar. No, apricot jam is a bit of a grandmother old secret. And it can't be any apricot jam. You can't go and make a nice homemade one yourself. It's not the same.
Definitely
it has to be all gold, all cute from a tin. It's really bizarre. We have a professional kitchen and it just is better with that. I don't know why. It's one of those.
And I'm sure everyone at home is pretty sitting wanting to know how to get this thing started because they've got all this in front of them too. Let's just get started with how.
So when you can do this for us, so let's get the gas on first. And we're just going to start getting our pan hot. You want to swap sides, but you can grind this up for us then. So we're going to put the garlic, the ginger, and the onions into the blender for us. Yeah, you can go ahead and just grind that up. And then we're just going to put some oil into our pot.
Oh, I'm a messy chef. Right. You're going to have to just deal with it. Don't even try and change my ways. It is just what it is, okay?
No, that's how it works. There we go, and that can just get lobbed in there. So don't be scared to have a really good amount of this base. And we grind this is probably the antithesis of French cooking, is grinding mushrooms into a watery sort of paste. It's just not done in French cooking. But for some reason, it just works better in a sort of curry environment. What you can do if it gets a bit dry. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. That's the way now.
Come on, dude. You can do it. There we go. There we go. And we're done.
Basically, so you have this nice paste. And the reason we do this is, that's it. Looks about right. So the reason we do this is because it's going to give us our bouillon some body afterwards. It's not just going to be a watery sort of mixture. You're going to have some texture because we're not going to strain this. We're going to leave it as is. So that's basically the base. So our pot's getting a bit hot here. So let's just chuck in some oil here. Sunflower or olive oil doesn't really matter for us.
Okay,
so
well,
don't be
scared. Better for you.
Put a bit inside there. Is this getting hot here now? It must be.
Should be.
Yeah, that's it. So we can just take the spatula and start this. Let's see how hot it is.
Yeah, and the best part about this, obviously, is you want to be starting to use a really nice cast iron pan or
for
pot
sure.
that does
Something that's not going
that heat.
Yeah. Admittedly, it's quite difficult to burn this sort of mixture because it has got water volume, so it'll always be ticking over nicely. But an important part and missed out is to toast your spices before, especially the big ones like coriander seeds and fennel seeds, and normally we use them whole.
Makes those flavors a lot more fragrant.
Yeah, basically. So normally we toast them first, and then we've ground them up. So we haven't shown you that. We've already done it, but we're ready to go.
Well, instead of waiting for this to heat up, what we can actually do is just show the viewers what goes into where and how much, because all those ingredients and stuff are on the website. So what usually happens? You're going to the stuff that we've pureed, made the paste out of. We place that into our pot. We let that simmer for a bit.
Basically, yeah. So we can go now. So the oil is kind of hot already. So we can once you get that sound, it's good to go.
Cool.
And that's the noise we want. So it's really quite straightforward from here. So we're just going to sweat it off for a minute or so.
And you see, it's such a nice trick. I like the trick that you've blended it before.
Yeah, no, so this is, it's a trick just to give you a sort of... There we go, you can go for that. And give it a stir. Just for a minute, you really get the big aroma, the garlics and the ginger. Also something, like I said, it's really good if you have a party at home and it's got a big visual appeal once you serve it, and it's really so easy to do. Important part is to actually do this the day or two in advance to develop the flavour of the broth. You could cheat a bit, I suppose, and use a bit of chicken stock powder or something like that will give it body instantly.
Okay.
But if you're a bit organised, do the day or two
Well, just to speed it up for everyone at home, let's just show us what other spices we need to throw in here.
So we're going with that. Now we can actually start getting it inside now. So you're sweating that off. We're going to sweat it all off.
And just by the way, even if you do blend those onions, they still burn your eyes.
Yeah, there we go.
Just to say.
So we're just going to get that all in. And we've weighed it out, so we don't have to.
All those are on the website, so don't worry about those details.
And don't be scared of using spices. You want big flavour afterwards, so so get some in there basically. We've also got a few toasted cloves and allspice seeds there, which we also
get. I want to show everyone what it looks like once you guys put it all together. So you will see that all of those flavours come together quite nicely. It's all that yellow coming together nicely there. Cool.
So we're just going to let that cook off for a minute. And then obviously we've got some water which we're going to use here, and we've got some vinegar. Obviously everyone has a different sort of taste.
Style of making it.
Taste. Some people like more pickle or more sweet or whatever. So that's something you can adjust after the fact,
So basically what we're going to do is from now on just add all of the wet ingredients to that, make a nice broth out of it, and then afterwards we'll show everyone how to combine all the ingredients together.
Basically that's straightforward. So so what do we put on all the other stuff so far? So we can actually just top some water inside. Basically we'd maybe cook it off a little bit longer, but as we're on the show, we need to get moving. We'll just chuck some water inside there.
And we'll basically show you guys how to do all of this at home afterwards. Later on, we'll show you how to combine all the ingredients together so you can get the recipe on the shopping list from our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. We're going to get this underway and we'll show you the rest of the steps in the next few minutes or so. It's very exciting to watch. Bonnie's on standby.
Express yourself.
Today we're cooking with trout in the kitchen. We've got Ryan Smith with us. He owns a restaurant called Ryan's Kitchen in Franschhoek. And today, instead of using mussels because of the red tide, we decided to use a trout. And it is so delicious. I can smell all these flavors in the kitchen. I don't know how Bonnie and them are focusing that side of the world. But
no, it's fantastic.
We finished off the broth here, basically.
Okay, so this is one we made a bit earlier because you genuinely want to make this a day or two in advance, definitely. This has only been made a couple hours in advance, and already you can get the big nose from it. So we're going to generally finish it off now with a bit of apricot jam. Just to get the sweetness. When this is something more trial and error, you'd put in how much you like or don't like, or maybe you want to add some more vinegar, etc.
Everyone in our loft is very sweet, so enough is enough. Okay.
Yeah, enough is enough. So we're ready to go. So at this stage, you want to have your bag ready as such. Really straightforward. We made a really simple one for everyone to see. So basically, two pieces of greaseproof paper, a thicker one, with a piece of foil in between, and just staple the edges. You take the bowl that you want to use to serve in afterwards, and just sort of shape it as that. Shape it down like that.
So we're basically showing you guys how to cook this in the oven a little bit later on the show. So if you're wondering what the heck we're doing here, basically creating a nice little cooking bag for the stuff to cook in. You can serve it like that too, and it looks so cool. It's innovative too.
No, it's great. So we've got you basically line the bowl with your bag like that. On the bottom we've got some cooked potatoes already. We just sliced up. We just want to put some on the bottom.
You just boiled those and skinned them?
Yeah, we just boiled them and peeled them and sliced them up. You can use baby potatoes as well. We just use some potatoes and some tomatoes. You can go wild, spring onions, leeks, whatever you like. We've got a really nice big piece of fish here.
Put some tomatoes in there first.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Well, we'll put that on top of the chopper. So we just want to put a touch of seasoning on top of your fish here.
Oh, and you've left the skin on, right?
Yeah, we left the skin on this one. You don't have to. You can take it off if you want. It'll just cook a lot quicker if you take it off. So we've got that like that. On top, we can put a few of your tomatoes now.
Oh, how many?
Yeah, that's fine. That's more than enough. It's probably a bit too much.
Take too many out. Okay.
There we go. So we just got some tomatoes inside there, and now we want to put some fresh herbs inside. You can even use some of the curry leaves that you had before, or we can use. So we've also got some basil and some coriander here, and you're going to get this fantastic aroma once you open the bag.
Because the trout has got quite a smoky sort of flavour to it already, so there's nice fresh coriander and basil.
This is very summery. I would say this is very summery. Like I said, if you go into the autumn period, leeks, you can probably put more leeks, potatoes, root vegetables inside if you wanted to do it as such.
Okay.
And we're good to go now. So we've got the bouillon. It doesn't have to be hot. I think for us with the trout, it would be better with hot. Obviously, trout is not like king clip or mussels. It will cook in 5 minutes.
Okay,
You still want to have the trout a little bit pink. So in that regard, we've used the liquid a bit hot. So we're just going to put I think we'll put
a ladle enough.
No, maybe a little ladle and a half. Let's call a ladle and a half. And we just coat it, and it smells fantastic already, doesn't it?
It already looks so good.
And so we're just going to carefully, basically, pull up the edges now, as such, and you're just going to close it as a little sort of parcel as such.
Oh my word.
And you just seal it up like that. And I think this in the oven 5 minutes, and that'll be about right, So we're just going to, and that's it, it's going to go in like that. Obviously, when it comes out, it goes to the table to your guest like that. It sits down and the guest opens up and gets this wonderful surprise. And it becomes almost, at home, I suppose, it can become a one-bag meal per person. So.
And if you guys have obviously just tuned into the show, we basically showed you how to make a really cool bag to cook your trout inside. All you need is 2 pieces of a sort of baking paper, nice thick ones. And in the middle of that, you put yourself a piece of tin foil. Staple them all together and you place it in a nice bowl. You put all your ingredients inside. You fold it up together quite nicely. This goes in the oven at what temperature?
200. We normally cook at 200. 180 to 200, depending on your oven.
For 5 minutes or so.
A trout is 5 minutes. Obviously, mussels or something else. It buys you a lot more time. You can put it in for 5, 10, 15 minutes. It'll be all right. But trout, I think 5 minutes should be fine.
And all the other recipes and the ingredients, etc., on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. You can play around with it, have some fun with this new method you've learned, and wow all of your friends. And that's courtesy right here of Afternoon Express and our chef in the kitchen, Ryan. It's really cool to have you with us on the show today. We're going to go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we're chatting about Sync the movie. Don't go anywhere.
How you doing, YouTube fam? Thank you so much for watching, sharing and commenting. We love hearing from you, so be sure to keep up to date with all things Afternoon Express by clicking the subscribe button right here.